The world of motorcycles has seen its fair share of deadly and dangerous rides over the years, like the 1972 Kawasaki H2 and the 1980 Harley Sportsters. But today, we're talking about a bike that stands out among the rest, the Suzuki TM 400 Cyclone, a bike that needs no introduction and is often considered the worst and most dangerous motorcycle ever made. So, what makes it so notorious? Let's find out. Suzuki has a troubling history when it comes to rider safety, with several dangerous bikes produced, such as the TL1000R, GSX-R 11 B-King models, and the TM 400 Cyclone. What these models all share in common are the flaws that were overlooked by Suzuki's designers and engineers. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your riding buddies, and of course, subscribe to our channel for more exciting motorcycle content. Now, let's rev up the engine and get into the story of the TM 400 Cyclone. Back in the early 1970s, Japanese manufacturers had a limited presence in the world of motocross. Most riders were leaning toward brands like Husqvarna, CZ, and Makos. Japanese motorcycles were seen as second-tier options by serious motocross enthusiasts. That all changed when Suzuki introduced the RN71, which featured factory riders like Roger DeCoster and Joel Robert. They dominated the World Motocross Championships, turning motocross into a high-stakes, high-dollar, no-cost-spared racing spectacle. Suzuki saw an opportunity to capitalize on the RN71 success by building a factory works bike that the average rider could purchase at their local showroom. They aimed to create a machine that could turn local racers into overnight superstars, capable of competing with legends like Roger DeCoster. And so, they introduced the TM 400 Cyclone, a bike that, at first glance, seemed like the pinnacle of motocross machines. However, it didn't take long for riders to discover the bike's inherent flaws. The TM 400 Cyclone was a whopping 70 pounds heavier than the RN71 works bike, with most of the added weight coming from a cheaper, heavier frame material. This difference in chassis characteristics affected the suspension and overall performance of the bike. The engine itself was powerful but suffered from inconsistency in power delivery due to Suzuki's use of a PEI ignition system, which was relatively unproven at the time. Riders would experience power coming on at various RPMs, making the bike extremely challenging to control. The lack of consistency in power delivery is a nightmare for any rider, regardless of their skill level. The TM 400's high compression made it incredibly difficult to start, often leading to excessive kickback during the starting process. Some riders even got injured just trying to start the Cyclone. The Suzuki TM 400 Cyclone is legendary for all the wrong reasons: its unusable power delivery, poor firing order, excessive weight, and subpar chassis construction. Riding this bike for an extended period almost guaranteed an injury. In fact, it's hard to find an owner of this bike who would say they never had a problem or a bad crash. The real tragedy is that Suzuki continued to produce the TM 400 Cyclone despite knowing the dangers associated with it. They only stopped making it when people stopped buying it, realizing that a reputation for broken bones was the worst review they could receive. However, Suzuki eventually learned from their mistakes and replaced the Cyclone with the RM370, which became one of the greatest motocross bikes ever built. Today, Suzuki has come a long way, producing reliable and safe motorcycles. While they make solid machines at attractive prices, there are still some areas where they've fallen short, like their lack of updates to popular models like the DR and DRZ. And that's a wrap on the story of the Suzuki TM 400 Cyclone, a bike that's legendary for all the wrong reasons. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more motorcycle content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for joining us, and ride safe out there.